What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about a very unique Norwegian word, Gjerne. Apparently, it's a bit difficult to explain what this word means, and it can be used in many different ways. It feels like anytime I learn about the Norwegian language, I come out a little more confused than when I began, but I do enjoy the process, so I'm interested in learning about this unique Norwegian word, Gjerne, so let's take a look.
I'll be talking about the word gjerne, which is a very useful adverb that you can use in a lot of different contexts. And it's one of those words that's kind of unique, and it helps to understand when we use it and what it really is.
Okay.
So,
Gjerne.
Have you heard the word gjerne being thrown into somewhat random sentences in the Norwegian language?
Random?
Well, gjerne is one of those Norwegian words that don't really have a perfect equivalent in English.
Oh, that explains it. Okay. Gjerne, it can be thrown into sentences randomly? What does that mean? And it doesn't really have an English equivalent. That is going to make it difficult for me to relate and understand, but I have to admit, I'm intrigued. Why don't we have a word like Gjerne? What does this mean?
So it's essentially an adverb that adds a layer of expressed desire or a feeling of willingness.
What? It's a adverb. You use it to express extra willingness, extra desire to do for something, towards something. That's fascinating. What I want to see this used in a sentence.
Almost like something you hypothetically could want to do. To compare it to
Is this like a way to emphasize something, or
English, you can think of the word gladly and how you might want to use that in a sentence, but gjerne is way more natural and common to use.
Oh, it's way more natural, Gjerne. So you could say, yeah, I'll go with you. I'll go with you to the movies. Or you could say, I'll gladly go with you to the movies. That would mean like, oh, you're happy and excited. Okay, that's good. Okay, I can understand that. But apparently Gjerne is still a little different, more natural. Okay.
For example, jeg vil gjerne spise means that you want to eat or that you would like to eat. And it adds a layer of just like, like that's something I would like to do.
Right. It's not just I want, okay, I'll eat. It's like I want to eat. I want to eat. Like okay.
So gjerne just adds the notion that if you had the opportunity, eating would be nice. Jeg vil gjerne spise. Secondly, jeg kan gjerne ta oppvasken. Jeg kan gjerne ta oppvasken. I can do the dishes. Or I will gladly do the dishes.
Oh, no. No one's ever said that before. No one has ever said that Norwegian sentence. I'll gladly do the dishes? Who would say that? What?
You know, in English, when you say, I will gladly do the dishes, it sounds like that's your highest desire. That's not really the case with gjerne. Saying, jeg kan gjerne ta oppvasken just means like, hey, like, I'm willing to do the dishes. That's something I could do. And I don't...
Oh, interesting. So gladly is too strong. Gjerne is interesting. It flows right into the Norwegian sentence, and it's not like you're super excited, like you're thrilled. Not like, oh yeah, I will do the dishes. It's just like, sure, I'd be happy to do the dishes if I need to. Something like that?
I don't mind doing it, you know? In another scenario, you could be at a store, and they'd be like, do you want to pay with your card or do you want to pay cash? And you'd be like, jeg vil gjerne betale med kort. Jeg vil gjerne betale med kort.
Jeg vil gjerne betale med kort.
I would like to pay with my card. So yeah, hypothetical desire, hypothetical willingness, or just a general like, yeah, that's something I could do. It's kind of the feeling you get from the word gjerne.
Oh. It's a lot more subdued, a lot more nuanced than I thought. I thought Yana was like, yes, I will pay with my credit card. Yes. It's just like, I'd like to if I can. Like, okay. Huh.
For example, let's say I want to go to Italy. I could say, jeg vil gjerne dra til Italia. Jeg vil gjerne dra til Italia.
Jag vill gärna dra till Italia. I would like to go to Italy.
And this word gjerne, again, just implies that, hypothetically, if I had the opportunity, then I would gladly go to Italy.
Okay, this is a little more nuanced. This is subtle. It's almost difficult for me to think of how to use this. In American English, I think it's very clear if you like something or not. It's like, I would love to go to Italy. I'd go to Italy. It also has to do with how you, like, what tone of voice you're saying, I guess, as well.
So, one way to describe how this adverb is used is that you just add a layer of willingness and politeness to your sentence.
Oh,
and if you
wow, okay, that's why. That's why we don't have anything like this in American English, where we don't care about being polite. This is really interesting. Very, like, subtle. That's what I keep thinking of. If you just want to add a little willingness, a little more willingness or politeness to something, you have this word yana. That's fascinating. Language is fascinating.
And if you notice in my examples right now, because gjerne is treated as an adverb, I put it after my verbs, just in the sentence order.
Okay.
One thing that's also good to know is that you can use gjerne to reply with friendliness. So if someone asks you, vill du ha en kopp kaffe? Do you want a cup of coffee? Vill du ha en kopp kaffe? You could say, ja, gjerne.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yana. Wait, what? It's a response as well? It's just a reply? Like, yes?
And it's really just kind of like saying yes, please. But it has kind of, gratitude.
Is this something that Norwegians use commonly? Or is this like a special? Like, yeah, Yana. It's like, not just yes, I'll have coffee, but yes, thank you. So, wow. Okay.
Embedded into it. So, ja, gjerne would be your answer, and it's just another way of saying, ja, jeg vil gjerne ha en kopp kaffe.
Okay.
And another kind of example of that would be, just going further with like the coffee scenario. If they say, vill du sitte her eller ta med? Do you want to sit here or do you want to take the coffee with you?
You know, it's funny because some of this Norwegian, I mean, they say that if you speak English, you have a decent shot of learning Norwegian. Sometimes I can tell what she is saying, sort of. Even though I don't speak Norwegian, when she said, vill du sitte her, that sounds like, will you sit here? So that's funny. I've never really noticed that, but there is a bit of similarity between Norwegian and English. That's kind of cool.
You could be like, sitte her gjerne. It's an incomplete sentence, but it makes sense. Sitte her gjerne. Sit here, I would like to.
Okay. Yeah, we really do not have anything like Gjerne. Yeah, we really don't. Like, that's fascinating.
Or making it a full sentence, you could say, jeg vil gjerne sitte her. But I just find myself, when I'm at a cafe and they ask that question, I'm like, sitte her gjerne. Or ta med gjerne. If you practice using it, and if you practice the sentences in which it's natural to use it, it's one of those words that has the potential to make your Norwegian sound very natural and native, which...
Is this like, it's not like a slang word. It's just like it's a way to sound more casual, or like she's saying natural in Norwegian. It's a fascinating word.
I think, at least for me, when I'm learning languages, I try to pay extra attention to those words because English has it, French has it. For me, I'm learning Korean, and all those languages, like they have those words that people just use like here and there, and it's quite different to how other languages might use similar words. But it makes you sound like you know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah. Just go to Norway and be like, yeah, Gjerne. And all the Norwegians will just be like, wow, you speak Norwegian. And I'll be like, no, I just say Gjerne and I count to 10.
which is the case with Gjerne, in my opinion. And next up, I want to show you how you can use Gjerne to mean feel free to. If I want to say...
What? What a diverse word. This word has so many uses. What? This is the third way to use Gjerne.
Like, feel free to call me if there is anything. You could say, ring meg gjerne hvis det noe. Ring meg gjerne hvis det noe.
Ring meg gjerne hvis det noe.
So in that context, gjerne would be an appropriate word to use. I could say something like, legg gjerne igjen en kommentar hvis du likte denne videoen. Feel free to leave a comment.
Oh, right. It's funny. I could see the word videon, and I was like, something to do with the video.
Comment if you liked this video. Legg gjerne igjen en kommentar hvis du likte denne videoen.
Videoen.
Og legge igjen means to leave. Så legg gjerne igjen en kommentar hvis du likte denne videoen.
Oh my gosh. When she says it at full speed, that's when my brain just turns to mush and it's like, what? What are you saying? What?
Gjerne can also be used in sentences to imply words like likely or probably or most often.
What? Huh? Oh my gosh, Gjerne. Gjerne has like too many definitions. First it was like to say I'll gladly, to express enthusiasm or excitement over doing something. And this is like the fourth different way to use it. To say likely, probably, okay.
Usually. So, for example, like, det gjerne to stykker på jobb om morgenen. There are usually two people at work in the morning. Det gjerne to stykker på jobb om morgenen.
What? How can this word also mean likely or usually when it also means like ja Gjerne, like thank you, express gratitude, and it can also be used to express like excitement towards something. This is a lot of definitions.
In this context, gjerne means usually or most often. And you could also say something like det gjerne gamle folk som tar bussen klokka 12. It is most often old people who take the bus at 12 o'clock.
This to me is the strangest so far. I think I was kind of understanding everything about Gjerne like up until now. Now it's like Gjerne can also mean usually and probably. That's confusing to me.
Det gjerne gamle folk som tar bussen klokka 12.
Okay. Dette gjerne gamle folk som tar bussen klokka 12.
So what you're saying is that most of the time, usually, old people are the ones who take the bus at 12 o'clock. This time of year, people make fårikål, which is one of our traditional dishes.
Yes.
It's basically just boiled cabbage and like lamb.
Oh yes, I know a bit about the fårikål.
Not that interesting, but it's very common for people to make it in the fall. Sit. Ja, flink.
The dog eats the fårikål. Wow.
So I could say something like, folk lager gjerne fårikål om høsten. People, usually, or most often.
Folk?
Or
Wait, the Norwegian word for people is folk? That's funny, because in English you can say hey, like folks, to kind of mean people. Okay, folk.
very commonly make fårikål in the fall. Folk lager gjerne fårikål om høsten.
Folk lager gjerne fårikål om høsten.
So I use the word gjerne to say that this is something that people do. It's like a habit, right? So if I wanted to describe a habit, using the word gjerne can be appropriate.
What?
Let's say I'm talking about a lecture at university that I'm attending, and I'm like, oh yeah, like usually there are about 100 people attending this lecture. I could say, det kommer gjerne 100 stykker på denne forelesningen. Det kommer gjerne 100 stykker på denne forelesningen. And,
Really?
The reason why I'm saying stykker
Well, I guess saying something is like probably or usually is sort of like a habit, but this is like the 5th time Gjerne has like a different definition. Oh my.
to mean people. It's just like, I could say 100 mennesker, like 100 humans, but stykker is like a lot of time the word that we use for counting people.
Wait, you could say sticker? I thought you could say folk. Could you say folk? I thought that meant people as well. Oh no. Now there's a bunch of words for the same thing. Or one word like Gjerne that means 5 things. Oh man.
Stykker could mean 2 people or 2 of a thing. So it's a word that we use for counting things. Yeah. Going forward with habits, let's say I eat fish twice a
Habits.
week. Usually eat fish twice a week. I can say, jeg spiser gjerne fisk 2 ganger i uka. Not necessarily
Okay.
a habit that's set in stone, but a habit with an element of willingness where I also like eating fish twice a week. And
Oh my god, it's like combining all the different definitions of Gjerne. Gjerne implies quite a few things. So here it implies like your habit, you usually like to eat fish, and you enjoy it as well. Okay.
that's something I would be willing
Okay,
to do.
okay.
It's also what I usually do. So then gjerne would be a good word to use.
Right.
Actually,
Right.
Helsedirektoratet, the Norwegian Directorate of Health, says that you should eat fish for dinner 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh.
At least that's their advice.
Oh.
And a lot of people try to follow that.
Wow. Yeah, Norwegians definitely eat a lot more fish than Americans. But this video is not about fish. It's about Gjerne.
I also saw, like, if you go down here, their address is Vitaminveien 4, Vitamin Road 4. That's very funny and cute. Lastly, there's a fixed expression called like gjerne. And it's something
Like Gjerne.
that you may hear in certain settings. And in fact, if we go to like ordbøkene.no, a site that I can recommend if you feel comfortable reading about words in Norwegian. And let's
Okay.
scroll all the way down. Yeah, here it is. Faste uttrykk.
Oh.
Like gjerne. Brukt for å uttrykke at et alternativ er like akseptabelt som et annet. It's
Fixed expression. I am not sure what this means.
used to express that one alternative is just as acceptable as another alternative.
Oh.
Jeg kan like gjerne lese som å se på TV. I can just as well read as watch TV.
Oh. What? Okay. What? I swear, I was saying, these Norwegian language videos, sometimes by the end, my brain is just flipped upside down. This is the 6th way you can use Gjerne, like Gjerne,
Det kan like gjerne være slik.
lik Gjerne.
It can, or it may just as well be this way. So
Okay,
right now I'm
okay.
thinking at the top of my head, like, it may just as well, that it's basically the same as, oh, it can just as well be this. So just as well would be a translation. Du kan like gjerne
Okay.
gå på tur som å gå på ski. You might as well go skiing as go hiking. So like gjerne.
To me, this is a very niche circumstance. Like, how often are you actually like, well, when you're having food, when you're having food, you might be like, oh, you could have pasta or you could have pizza or like something like that, maybe?
Means might as well. Jeg kan like gjerne vaske stua, nå som jeg også har vasket kjøkkenet. I
Might
might
as
as well
well.
clean the living room now that I've cleaned the kitchen. That's
Okay.
a fixed expression.
Gosh, oh man, how do you remember all this? Oh my, this is just one word, one Norwegian word, but this is a special word. This is a versatile, unique Norwegian word, Gjerne. Not all Norwegian words are this complicated.
And
Okay.
it's very useful. That's it for today. I'm gonna try to leave a PDF in the description.
Okay, so that's it. Holy cow. That was good, though. That was a good lesson. That was by Norwegian Joe, and I got to give that a like, because that was good. It's a very tough subject. That was a complicated word, and she did a good job going over each of the uses of Gjerne. I think I'm going to remember Gjerne, first and foremost, as a way to emphasize what you're saying. To be like, yes, I would do that. A little emphasis, a little way to say, in a positive way, you'd like to do something. And it's also a way to express thanks. So if you're like, ja, Gjerne, like yes, in a thankful way. And it's got a couple other definitions as well, but that I'd have to go through this video a few more times for it to all stick. But it's just fun learning about these fascinating Norwegian words and just Norwegian language. And it's fun that I kind of could tell Norwegian it has more similarities to English than I realized. So it was kind of cool seeing that a little bit here. But I'm still very confused about Gjerne. But I understand the basics, so I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on Gjerne. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.